welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Happy Thursday, everybody. What a week it has been for this franchise. Little less dramatic today, but definitely still some drama in there. But, what can we do? We can talk about it. That's what we do here on this channel. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. So welcome to the show. We'll kind of start like we normally do. Didn't do this yesterday, but let us know where you're watching from. Shout out your city. Wasim says F Getsy in the chat. I actually thought I liked what Getsy said today. In terms of his play calling, yeah, it's been brutal, but I thought he handled today pretty well for the most part. Adam in Las Vegas. We got Keith in Rockford, Illinois. Ryan Poles, trust me, my children. Scotia, New York from Jason. Topfin in Columbus, Georgia. We got The Gabe in Dayton, Ohio. Posey in Virginia Beach. We got Gene in San Francisco. Larry in Bartlett, Illinois. DC Viper in Cuba City, Wisconsin. Sammy in Eugene, Oregon. That's the place to be this weekend, Rolly. Oregon, Colorado. At Oregon. That's gonna be a fun game. Chicago from Jeff. We got Brendan in Orlando. Marabella in Chicago. Vernon in St. Louis. So is Brooks. How's your day, Harrison? It's going good. Got my sister's wedding this weekend, so leaving work tonight, going straight back to my hometown, but we'll be back Sunday for the game, so that will still take place like normal. Dallas, sorry to hear about Diggs. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs, torn ACL. Pretty brutal for the Cowboys, a team that we all like to make fun of, but I think may have had a chance, still has a chance, but to be a contender this year, but certainly a big blow to their chances. Is that Ryan in the chat? I don't think it's the real Ryan Poles. I'll tell you what, though, if this is Ryan Poles watching, you're welcome on anytime. That's a fact.
Also, happy belated birthday. I know it wasn't probably a good one.
Yeah, Mr. Poles, happy birthday. 38 yesterday. I mean, quite the birthday. Like, kind of a generational birth. He'll never forget that one. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that right now. All right, predict the score. There is a football game to be played this week, believe it or not. Chicago Bears, Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to ask who you got. I think I know where most people would land on that. But what's the score going to be? Who's going to win? We are going to beat KC. Watch. Listen, nothing would make me happier. 34-9 Chiefs, 23-20 Bears from Anthony, 27-3 Bears. Bears all day. Chiefs 48, Bears 6. See, that's the type of result you can't have. If you get 30-burgered, 40-burgered, like, you're going to have to start firing people, I think. So, Chiefs 28, Bears 17. That would be respectable. Vernon, 27-20 Bears. Chris is 21-20 Bears. We got Pierce saying 24-17 Bears. Gene, 38-17 Chiefs. Is that Rolly's burner? Because that was his score prediction when we were talking off air. 38-17 Chiefs. Pierce says 24-17 Bears. Scott, Chiefs 35, Bears 31. I'll give my official score prediction later on in the show. We will preview this game, so be sure to stay tuned for that. 35-17 Chiefs from Lucas. Daryl says 34-20 Chiefs. And then Daryl says Bears 24-20. Posey 38-21. Cool. Sounds good. Monty says 45-31 Bears. And then Jonathan going Chiefs 35, Bears 10. Like I said, stay tuned for my prediction later on in the show when we go through our preview segment. So we will certainly do that. We also want to show love to our guy, Carrie Huss. Boom! So we signed off on our live show yesterday, and after the stream already ended, Carrie Huss sent in a $100 super chat. And Carrie, I don't know if you're watching yet. We were DMing back and forth, but we got you a sticker right there, my friend, on the Bears Now Helmet Hall of Fame. All $100 super chats get a sticker on the Bears helmet this year. That's our Hall of Fame item. And shout out to Carrie Huss. He's a real one. And if he ends up showing up later, we'll show him some love as well. I haven't seen him in there yet today, but appreciate Carrie Huss and everybody else for hanging out in the chat. We'll get to Alonzo in a second, but I want to ask you this question. Do you trust Ryan Poles? T for trust, D for don't. Yes or no in the live poll. Do you trust the Bears general manager? I trust him more than I trust anyone else, but that's not saying a lot. Like, I trust him more than I trust Flus. I trust him more than I trust Getsy. I don't know enough about Kevin Warren. I feel like Kevin Warren knows what he's doing, but I don't know. I want to say yes. Can't say it with great confidence. Owen says trust. Chicago says trust. Denise says no. Ryan Poles himself says yes. Antonio says trust. Deviant says trust. Anthony says trust. So does Chris, Monty, Kevin, Donald, Chest, Clifton, Iron Wolf, Jason, Gene, Torian, Steve. Bill does not. Link does not. Freddie does. The Gabe does. Daryl trusts him. So does Busy. I want to. We'll see. We need to bench Fields for a game. I feel like if you're benching Fields, there's no going back. That's kind of how I see it. But who knows? Who knows what they think? I don't think they're benching him. Alonzo says, if it is a blowout on Sunday, what happens next? I mean, if you mean like a true blowout, like 35-10, never competitive, then I don't know. I don't know if they would actually fire anyone next week because you already lost your defensive coordinator. And, sure, the Bears can say that's not a big deal. And, look, I think Eberflus calling the plays probably does give you a better chance to win. But that's still a lot of, game preparation duties you have to make up elsewhere. Like, you need other people to step up and fill the day-to-day roles that Alan Williams left. So, are you going to fire more coaches? I don't know. Are you going to bench your quarterback? Are you going to make a move? Are you going to start trading players away? I don't know. But I wouldn't want to find out if I was this team. If I'm Matt Eberflus, if I'm Luke Getsy, if I'm Justin Fields, I'm doing everything I can to at least be competitive in this game. You got to. You can't get embarrassed in this one. It's been too rough of a week around this franchise. Like, it would show me a lot if the Bears went out there and played 60 good minutes and at least was competitive. Like, what's the point spread 13 right now? Go cover the spread. If this team can keep this a 2-touchdown game and go into the fourth quarter without completely having no chance, like if you're going into the fourth and it's 10 or less, like I would take that as a victory.
Good teams win. Great teams cover. Bears 0-2 against the spread.
Yeah, it's not been good. Rolly's taking the points.
0-2 against or 0-2 in general.
Rolly's given the points.
Yeah, 0-2 in general, but 0-2 against the spread. That can't happen.
Double whammy.
Especially when I bet on you both times. Disgusting behavior by Chicago. And watch, I guarantee you this, Harrison, I will be out in the open. I am taking Chiefs minus 13. The Bears will cover because that is my luck.
Well, I think if that's true, you just need to gas up the other team every week so we can get this thing turned around.
The Bears.
Yes. Reverse jinx works every time. Fill in the blank. The Bears have a blank chance to beat the Chiefs on Sunday. I mean, it's the NFL. Like, it's not like the Cardinals could be 2-0. Like, they're a couple plays away from 2-0, and they're horrible. So, I don't know. 10%? I mean, it's not 0. What do you guys think? Marabella says 12. Chris says 40. I'm not that optimistic. Adam says 12. Maxwell says 100. Van Helsing says 0. DG point 0.000000007% chance. Iron says 15. Santi says 10. Yeah, someone says 50 any given Sunday. Yeah, it's not 50, though, when you've had all the distractions you've had. You're on the road against Patrick Mahomes, and you're a 13-point dog. It's not 50-50. I'd say it's about 10 to 15%. It's the NFL. Anybody can beat anybody. It's not college football where, like, the App State over Michigan happens once a decade. Like, it's weird results happen, but it's not a great chance. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Okay, if you're ready for today's show to start, hit that like button. We got almost 400 people watching live.
Don't make me call you out.
Got to get to 150 likes, Rolly. This ratio's brutal.
400 people watching, 50 likes. How many times do I have to tell you to start off a show? That is unacceptable. You don't want
angry Rolly coming at you.
Come on.
It's one thing if I get angry. You guys have seen my game day reactions the last couple years. Not a lot of happy moments, that's for sure.
Get to 150.
Let's get to 150 likes. Let's go. 30% the Nagy factor.
Jason M, it's okay.
Like the video!
1 million likes and Chugs will do 10 boots.
How many likes did you say? Million?
1 million.
Oh, yeah. 10 boots and he can't stop
Yeah.
until he's done.
Have you ever done the gallon challenge?
No, I have not.
I've done the gallon milk challenge, an hour to do a gallon. You do about 50 to 60% in the first 5-10 minutes, but then you're like, oh God.
What have I got myself into?
It's a tough scene. It's a tough scene. All right, 5 likes away from 150, and then we can start this thing. Let's roll. Anthony says chill. Yeah, Jeremy, he's out of control. Just forgive him for me, please.
He's a Raiders fan. What can you say?
Any trade ideas? I'll tell you what. If they're 0-3, we might start trading pieces away. I'll say this, Rolly. With Trayvon Diggs going down, if the Bears lose, Ryan Poles seemingly has not made a decision on Jalen Johnson's future. If Dallas offers you a second-round pick for Jalen Johnson, maybe even a third.
I don't hate the take.
I mean, look, I like Jalen Johnson, but like, if you're not going to compete this year, and if you don't want to commit to paying him, I don't know.
Don't hate the take.
There's something to think about. That's something that could be explored next week. All right, here's what's coming up live on Chicago Bears Now, the latest Bears news and rumors after a hectic week at Halas Hall. Not as hectic today, but oh my goodness, that is just not what you want to see. There's a headshot in Big Cam folder under the Bears tab. Did you remove BG? What on earth? We're having a graphic issue behind the scenes, guys. Give us a moment here. I know more about what you hate than what you love. So, like, what'd you say earlier? I hate the Portland Trailblazers more than anything else in life. Oh, all right. While Rolly figures things out, if you guys want to load up some questions, hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions in. We will take a look at this weekend's game as well. Bears, Chiefs preview, Arrowhead Stadium. Not gonna be easy, but we will dive into that as well. Dude, what is happening? Is that going to be like that on other graphs? Dude, what on earth? This is unbelievable. Put it in remove BG real quick and just use the temporary link. All right, I'll answer a couple questions. We're in crisis mode behind the scenes. Give us a sec here. I need these guys to just be good for 1 year, even if 2018 flashback year. I'm so tired of seeing us lose games. I hear you. How is Vela still on the team? It was weird that he was active last week, and then it's just like, yeah, don't bring out a single kick, and we're going to run one jet sweep to the short side of the field, because that made sense. Bears shouldn't draft a QB, sign a good QB, and build the defense. Well, Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent, but I guarantee you the Vikings aren't going to let him hit free agency. They're either going to tag and trade him or re-sign him. Your other options are Baker Mayfield and Ryan Tannehill, and if Baker keeps playing well, the Bucs are going to keep him. I mean, you want to roll with Ryan Tannehill next year? Eberflus is a dead man walking. F. Cousins from Chef Spencer. Jet sweeps are weak sauce. I don't mind them occasionally, but you can't run them to the short side of the field, man. Like, you can't. And the Bears have proven they don't block well on the perimeter. They just don't. There we go. What'd you have to do? Remove BG? Yeah. Yeah, I'll just make a new link or something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll just make a new one probably. All right, here's what's coming up. Like we said, latest news and rumors. Get your questions in. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. After this segment, daily basis, we will start with your Super Chat. And then we'll also take a look at this weekend's matchup, Bears versus Chiefs. My name is Harrison Graham. Let's go. Bear down. Here's what's coming up on Chicago Bears Now. Ryan Poles speaks out. He defends his quarterback and addresses some other things from the week as well. Luke Getsy discusses Justin Fields and their relationship. And then we've got the injury report this week, including for today as we get closer to this weekend's game. A couple new additions on there for this afternoon. So lots to dive into here on today's show. And let's start with the general manager who called a press conference this morning at about 10 a.m. and for good reason, right? Like him or Kevin Warren or both needed to speak today after just the madness that went on yesterday. The rumors, the stuff that actually happened, Alan Williams resigning, Justin Fields, lots going on. Needed to hear from the general manager. And he defended his quarterback. That's where I want to focus here. And he said, He said, I cannot be more clear than this. No one in our entire building, none of our coaches, see Justin as a finger pointer at all. He has always taken ownership of anything that's happened on the field. He takes it head on. Now, I think my initial reaction to this is I appreciate the GM coming in there the next day and defending the quarterback. Whether he believes in Justin long-term or not, that remains to be seen. But I appreciate when a coach has a player's back. I mean, that's just – or a GM, right? So I like that Ryan did that. I think that was a good move. It just looks good. It's a classy thing to say, even if there's, some slightly different conversations going on behind the scenes. I don't get the sense that there are, but I think publicly that's the way to go. Here's what Poles had to say as well. He said, you've got a young quarterback who's trying to figure it out, a guy who hasn't had the cleanest start to his career, who last year with a roster had to put the team on his back and do some unbelievable things athletically. Now he gets talent around him and has to figure and balance when to do those cool things athletically, when to lean on others, and sometimes that's a great place to live in, and that takes time. And I think there's some validity to that. Here's the problem, though. You don't have a ton of time. The clock is ticking. Like, these things may take time. It may not be perfect early. Maybe we overvalued the new additions and undervalued how much time a lot of players missed in camp. And, yeah, 2 games isn't a ton of time, but, like, you kind of got this season. Like, the Bears have big decisions to make after this year, and with it already being just not pretty on the field, but also all the Alan Williams drama, like, fans are impatient, and you got to wonder what the McCaskies are thinking. What's Kevin Warren thinking? So, and the bottom line is you've lost 12 games in a row. Like, you just need to win a football game, man. So, yeah, I could appreciate that it takes time to build chemistry, but you don't have a ton of it. Like, you've got to start making progress right away. Do you trust Ryan Poles as this team's general manager, as a leader of this franchise? I really want to. I like a lot of what he has to say. I like a lot of his processing. I think he's made some mistakes in personnel decisions, but I want to be in the trust category. Type T for trust, type D for don't. Pin comment on today's video. More on the quarterback, this one coming from Luke Getsy, who speaks every Thursday. He, of course, was peppered with questions about his play calling, but obviously about Justin Fields yesterday, seemingly, I don't want to say ripping calling out, but, saying, yeah, like, I feel like at times it's information overload, and maybe it's too much coaching at times. It's causing me to think too much, and, of course, Fields clarified that, kind of stepped those comments back just a little bit. Now, I want to start with the footwork stuff because there's been a lot made from all 22 experts, film study guys, JT O'Sullivan, Tim Jenkins, and others, that the footwork looks slow. It looks sloppy. I've noticed the same stuff. I know a lot of you guys have as well. And Luke Getsy said, I prefer to have quarterbacks who have their left foot forward in this system, but he also said he'd never force it onto a player. Says Justin loves it. He loves the rhythm. He loves the footwork, which I'm not sure he actually does, but that's neither here nor there. That's what he said. But he did give an example. He said, for example, Nathan Peterman, he doesn't like the left foot forward, so he still plays with his right foot forward. So he's basically saying the quarterbacks in this system have a choice, but he does prefer the left foot forward, which I don't really know what to make of that. Like, should they have a choice? Like, I don't know. I'm not enough of a football nerd to know what the better result is there. Here's what I do know is in Justin's rookie year, which I'm not even saying was his best year. I think last year was a better overall season than his rookie year. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But his drop looked more crisp and looked more comfortable when he had his right foot forward, which is what he played in college, what he played in high school. He's always had that right foot in front when playing out of the shotgun. And then starting last year and on into this year, it's been the left foot forward. And it just hasn't looked as crisp to me. He looks like his words, robotic, and wants to, he needs to play more freely. He says he's thinking too much, and he said that's on him. But I just do wonder if, like, doing all these different things with him mechanically and technically, like, was it just too much at once? And that's kind of the vibe I got when Justin talked yesterday, and he does look less comfortable to me. We'll see how it looks this week. I mean, he said, I want to play more free, and a reporter asked him what that looks like, and he said, you'll see soon. Show us then, man. Like, 2 games, 2 not-so-good performances, so got to back it up. I'm not saying you got to go beat Patrick Mahomes, but you can't get embarrassed either. Like, this is a big opportunity for Justin Fields coming up this weekend. More to discuss, but first, I don't know about you guys, but I'm hungry, and I don't have the time to cook a 2-hour-long meal. The preparation, it takes forever. That is where Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up with chef-prepared, fast, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. I don't know about you, but I'm too busy during the fall, during football season, to cook all the time. Sure, every once in a while, my wife and I are able to, but now with the 5-month-old at home, we just don't have a ton of time. And Factor's fresh but never frozen meals are ready to go in just 2 minutes. All you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back to crushing your goals. That's the beauty, too. Healthy options with a good chunk of their meals under 550 calories. Some of them aren't even required to be heated up in a microwave. So if you're on the go and you don't have a microwave available, you can take a salad bowl with you, grain bowls, other stuff as well. Get 50% off with Factor today with code BearsChat50 at factormeals.com/BearsChat50. Use that promo code. Link and code for Factor in the comments and description. It's factormeals.com/BearsChat50, code BearsChat50 to get 50% off. That's code BearsChat50 at factormeals.com/BearsChat50 for 50% off. Back to Luke Getsy and Justin Fields. This was about the relationship between he and the quarterback. He said, I think you saw Fields' passion and reaction after practice. He's such a guy of high character and is so passionate, and he wants to win as much as anyone in the building. But it's more important for him to be a man of character. Our partnership is outstanding. And I actually thought this was hilarious. So at practice today, Justin Fields found Luke Getsy, and they hugged each other and waved at the media cameras, which I think that's kind of like a fun, like, I don't know if it's like some kind of like turn the page moment, but just kind of like making light of the situation. Like, hey, we're back to work. Like, yesterday's yesterday, today's today. But I think the bottom line is Sunday's huge for this team. Again, I don't think it's not a must-win. I called the first 2 games must-win. This is not a must-win. Why? It's the freaking Chiefs. No one expects you to win #1. But it is a must go out there, look like a focused, prepared football team and play well. You can't get embarrassed. I don't expect you to win. You're not a better team than the Chiefs. Like, if you win, great. That would show me a ton. Like, you win this game, that you have all of a sudden, like, goals are back on the table, but I just want them to go out there and execute and play well. Play hard, like, look like a team that cares, which I'm not saying they did in the first 2 weeks, but you could understand after everything that's happened this week, if you get down early, if you fold in this game, it can't happen. You cannot fold. You cannot roll over in this one. So it's huge for Fields. It's huge for Getsy. He's got to call a better game. Let Justin be himself a little bit more. And it's huge for Flus as well, who now has more on his plate without his defensive coordinator. Predict the score, Bears, Chiefs on Sunday, 3:25. We'll, of course, be live for this one as well. Get that score prediction down in the comments section. I'll have my score prediction on our preview video. Speaking of this one, though, Bears, Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium will have a live watch party starting at 2:15 Central Time on Sunday. Game, of course, will kick off at 3:25. So join us nice and early, well over an hour pregame show, live watch party. Myself, producer Rolly, will be hanging out with you guys, reacting to everything that happens in this one. So should be fun. Hopefully it's fun at least. Looking for win #1, certainly an uphill battle. Okay, this is interesting. Kay Adams calling the upset? Not completely, but it kind of seemed like she was. She said that she thinks the Bears could win this game. Here's a direct quote from her on her Up and Adams show on FanDuel TV. She said, I've convinced myself the Bears can win this game because the Chiefs don't have it all figured out yet. That's actually true. They've looked kind of mediocre so far. Something about the second time Justin Fields said, hey, media, get in here. I want to talk to you. Isn't there a little something there, she asks? And the Chiefs, don't tell me that they always take lower competition seriously and crush them. They have dominant wins by 20 to 30 points in those games. They don't, which that's actually a good point. The Chiefs in recent years, they kind of sleepwalk through lesser competition. I've witnessed plenty of those games. Believe me. Now, I'm going to pump the brakes on this. Let's start with playing well because, number one, you're 0-2 and you haven't played well. It'd be one thing if you're 0-2 and you lost 2 tight games. You haven't. I know the Tampa game, you had a chance late, but you got completely outplayed. Packers, give me a break. That game was never close. So let's start with being more competitive and just putting a better game together. If you do that against a good opponent on the road and lose a competitive game, that's a step in the right direction. Now, on the flip side, the Chiefs have had some weird losses. They're usually good for one weird game a year. Last year, they lost to an awful Colts team 20-17. I mean, I can't get to how bad that team was with Matt Ryan. They managed to lose that game. Year before, they got blown out 27-3 to the Titans. It's, I think, the biggest loss of Mahomes' career at this point. Year before that, lost 40-32 to the Raiders. Year before that, lost a clunky 19-13 game to the Colts. For whatever reason, Indianapolis has kind of had their numbers. So, yeah, I think the point I'm making here is, one, the Chiefs at times have lost focus against far inferior opponents, which, let's be honest, the Bears are. And two, it is any given Sunday. You never know. Things can happen. If you're the Bears, you should go into that stadium thinking if you play really well, you have a chance because you're professionals just like they are. But again, just be competitive. I mean, seriously, like with everything going on, with how bad you've played through 2 games, like if this team goes out there, competes, gets a takeaway, which is something they haven't done, if Justin Fields plays better, like I'd count that as a moral victory, which I don't really believe in general, but I already consider this a loss on the schedule before the season even started, and I definitely consider it one at this point with how things have gone. If you go out there and compete, get into the fourth quarter with even a slight chance to win, I'd be pretty happy with that outcome, if I'm being completely honest. Now, how shocked would you be if the Bears upset the Chiefs in this one? Scale of 1 to 100. I mean, I'd be at about a 98. I would be extraordinarily shocked if Chicago went into Arrowhead Stadium with all of these distractions, with the poor play up to this point, and beat Kansas City. I would be completely shocked. Would it be the craziest result in the history of the league? No, but it would certainly be up there. All right, quick look at the injury report here. Nate Davis did not practice due to personal reasons. He, of course, had that death in the family and missed last week. He was in the building yesterday. Did not practice today. Don't know any more details, so that's where we're at with that. Marcedes Lewis, his rest days have been on Thursday, so he did not practice today. Eddie Jackson did not practice with that foot injury. I got to think he's probably out. Darnell Mooney limited for a second straight day. I'm still optimistic there that he's going to give it a go. We'll see what Friday looks like. Khalid Kareem added to the injury report today, limited with a hip issue. He's been inactive the first 2 weeks anyway, so nothing huge there. Josh Blackwell, full participant with the hammy, so hopefully he is good to go and he can give you some snaps at that nickel position without Kyler Gordon. All right, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in to this video. Just a few days until Sunday kickoff between the Bears and the Chiefs. We'll continue to plug out videos between now and then. Some super chats to hit here. Daily Bassist with the $5 super. He said, if you're 100% out on Justin Fields, what could he do to change your mind? I'm not 100% out. Number one, I'll read the rest of this first. Would you want to shop him even if he turns it around completely? Is Caleb worth that? I'm not completely out. I said I'm losing faith. I mean, how could you not? Like, it hasn't looked good. But I'm not completely out. You give him this season. I said that all along. 2 games in, two X marks, right? Like, if you have more checks than X's, it's a different conversation. But through 2 games, you have 2 X's. So that's kind of where I'm at with things. So am I as optimistic as I was 2 weeks ago? No, I'm not. Am I completely out? I'm not. Rolly's done. He's turned the page to the draft. But
sorry, fellas. I was in on week 2. Out now.
Rolly's just mad because his pockets are a little lighter. I can't blame the kid. He blew like $200 at the bar last Saturday. But what are you gonna do? Posey with the 10. He says Poles won't fire the coach. Too much money owed. $28 million. However, Getsy is not safe. I also think Poles drafting is not good. Yeah, I mean, there's question marks there, right? I will say this. I think Darnell Wright's been pretty good. I know Jalen Carter's been awesome, and that's what people have focused on. I actually think Darnell Wright's been pretty damn good, so I'm excited about that. I know Tyreek Stevenson was bad in week 2. I actually thought he played well in week 1. And look, your second game of your career and you're stuck on Mike Evans a lot. That's tough, man. That's not easy. That's a welcome to the NFL moment for sure. So I'm still high on him. Obviously, there's been some misses. The Valus pick has not panned out. Chase Claypool trade is not. He's got a lot to be realistic about for sure. Fernie, did you see the clip of DJ Moore talking to Devin White mic'd up? Very ugly. Yeah, Devin White said, "Yo, they're not using you properly," and DJ said, "Tell me about it." Not great, man. That's Getsy, bro. That's Getsy, and then that's Fields. That's Getsy for not making the game plan more around DJ Moore, and that's Fields for not looking his way more. It's twofold. Keem78, Poles is straight up refreshing transparency. That is what I like about him compared to Flus. Poles tells you how it is. Flus kind of just ducks everything. A perfect way to look at Flus is how during training camp, when you're not required to talk about injuries at all, he literally will not give you any idea of what's going on. That's what a college program does. It's dude, this is the NFL. It's July. Just tell us the freaking injury, man. Who cares? Mad Bro, Getsy is the type of guy to keep flushing a toilet after it's clogged. That's a pretty good analogy. I might steal that for something else in life. Let Justin be who he is. See what the record shows. Bear down 27-20 Bears. Yeah, I'd rather just lean into what we know Fields is good at and just see what happens, right? Yes, pick certain times to call pocket plays, but 90% of pass plays for him shouldn't be out of the pocket. They just shouldn't be. Keem78, a good leader takes accountability. Justin Fields does. Getsy doesn't. Find a better leader to help guide and develop. Getsy admits no fault. Look, it just doesn't feel like it's all on the same page. That's the disappointing part. So, look, Sunday's going to tell us a lot about this team. Are they together as a locker room? Is it divisive? We'll see. I think those 60 minutes are going to tell a lot. Twinquist, I'm a serious bowler. If you're focused too much on mechanics during competition, you have no chance of succeeding. Quarterback is 1,000 times more complex. It's a good analogy because, it's one of those things where, yeah, they said they worked on a bunch of stuff during the offseason, but, if you throw a guy 10 new things, it's kind of a lot. It's all right, this offseason, I can't remember if it was Tony Romo or some other quarterback from, last decade talked about this. He was always worked on one thing every offseason to improve at. Now, I know when you're a young quarterback, you have a lot to improve at, right? But, if you narrow in on one specific thing, then you have a better chance. We talk about this up here all the time in our jobs. Hey, when we train people, these 3 days to start out, you're focusing on this. These next 3 days, you're focusing on this. If you throw people 10 things at once, they're not going to get better at any of it. So that's just, I think that's true with anything, if I'm being completely honest.
Another good analogy, Harry. Bowling, I would say golf is another good one because I've always thought this, I've always said this. If you have more than 2 thoughts in your head when making a swing, it's going to be a disaster. You have to keep those thoughts as little as possible and just go play freely. And hopefully Fields is going to start doing that. That's the only way I think things turn around.
He admitted, he's I'm thinking too much. Dude, if you're doing your drop back and you're counting steps and doing all this stuff, it's you have no chance. There's too much other thinking you have to do. Where's the safety? Where's the mic? Is this man coverage? Is this zone? You can't be thinking about mechanical things once a play starts. You just got no shot. It's too hard to play this position and be having all these external thoughts going on. Just go out, play free, like you said, and we'll see what the results are. Zane Gray, I chose the Bears to win in my pick'em this week. Man, that's dedication, Zane. I got to be honest. That is dedication. Marty K, all we asked was for them to keep the offense the same as last year, just add weapons and better alignment. We did 2 of the 3. They go back to last year's offense. I think we win games. Yeah, look, again, you do want Fields to improve as a pocket passer, but that does not mean make him strictly a pocket passer. I've said this all week, and I'm going to continue to say so. Even if he looked like Peyton Manning in the pocket, you would still want to utilize his mobility. Why? Because it's a damn good weapon. He was the best running quarterback in the NFL last year. That is something to utilize, even if it's scaled back a bit. But, yeah, I'm with you. Get him on the edge. And, by the way, something we haven't talked about a ton, but I'm going to hit in our preview video, run the football with your running backs, too. the genesis of this Shanahan-like offense is running the outside zone with the running backs. That kind of sets everything up, and they're just not doing it. And by the way, when they do hand the ball off, they found success. Like, do it more. Zane Gray, opinion, fire coaching staff. 2, hire new staff. 3, keep Fields but draft a new quarterback. 4, Fields plays well in year 4, pick up fifth-year option. It doesn't work that way, Zane. You got to decide after this year to pick up the option or not. So that's why this year's important as well. If not, you have a new QB that you just drafted. I hadn't really considered the idea of drafting a QB and keeping Fields. I don't love that idea because then you run into a problem where, well, what if Fields does end up being the guy and he's awesome? Yeah, you could trade the other guy, but you're not getting the value of where you drafted him. Like if you draft, let's just say the Bears take a quarterback with the 7th pick. Shedeur Sanders, number 7 pick. You're a Chicago Bear. You compete with Justin Fields in training camp. Fields wins the job, plays awesome. You want to commit to him long term. Well, if you trade Sanders, you might get a first, but you might not. And the chances of you getting a top 7 pick are very slim. And on top of that, if Fields won the job, you would have been better off taking a player to help him or help your defense or something else. So I think if you're drafting a quarterback in the first round, you're probably trading Fields.
Also,
not for sure, but probably.
Before we move on, Harrison, the next super chat, I just want to call out Rolly's neckbeard. To think we were friends, to think we had a good chemistry. Saying Drake May will be a Zach Wilson level bust is disrespectful, and I question our friendship.
Oh, man. Dave O'Dowd, Sanborn shuts down Kelsey and wins T. Swift back. Yes! Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2,
Did Sanborn
3,
and
4,
Taylor Swift
5.
date? Am I out of the loop
No,
here?
this was a bit on Bears Twitter last year.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I was really out of the loop.
If
on
Jack
something there.
Sanborn pulled,
That's what I'm saying.
that would be
I
an
was very
all-time.
puzzled.
That would be an all-time pull.
It's very
For being
confused.
honest.
Very-
Hashtag Bears Super Chat. We'll get to your questions here on the show. It is hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions in. And we'll answer as many as you can. You got a question about this game, about the future, the coaching
Need more
staff,
questions.
trades, free agency. Yeah, you heard Rolly. We need more questions. Hashtag Bears
Starting
Super
now,
Chat.
by the way, any super chat that comes in will get on the show, not before, not after.
Yeah. Any Super Chat will hop onto this segment. So.
But we do need more hashtag Bears questions. So get them
William-
in there.
William said I already put one in. Put it in again because sometimes the comments from a while ago get lost. So, hashtag Bears, Super Chat. Load them up. Shedeur isn't entering the draft. Yeah, he may not. It's not. We'll see what happens in 3 months. I was just using that as an example, though. So, hashtag Bears. Now confirm. That's not true, Tech, unless that happened in the last 10 minutes. Tech is my life says, with the FBI now confirmed in the building. So the report from Pat McAfee was that the FBI went to Alan Williams' house, not to Halas Hall, unless something new is dropped in the next 10 minutes. So dodge that one, Rolly. Let's not put that one on. No, that one's fine. I'm talking about the FBI one because that's just not the case. It was just a hashtag Bears. Oh, by the way, so Jaquan Brisker was asked why he liked that tweet about the Bears being trash from Stephen A. He said, I just really love the noise, love everything about it, just favorited that tweet so I could remember exactly what they said. Stephen A. said they're going to swallow their words pretty soon, so that's the reason why I faved the tweet. Really, for me, it's to motivate me anymore, even though I'm already motivated, but I love hearing that. And that's kind of what I tweeted. Like, I think a lot of people freaked out when Brisker did that. Brisker is very much he's kind of like Baker Mayfield in the sense of he gives himself bulletin board material guy. Like he thrives off of that. So I don't think that was I'm going to like this tweet because I'm sick of this franchise. I think it's more of all right, bet. Now at the same time, it's this team has proven shit. Since he's joined the team, they're 3-16. So it's yeah, cool talk, but you haven't really earned the right to talk, if that makes sense. So there you go. Hashtag Bears Super Chat. Let's get into it. Mailbag time coming up right now. Welcome into Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. We are going to dive into a mailbag here, so use hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want more videos here on the channel on a daily basis. We got Braden Risser up first here. The Bears should draft Jalen Daniels from LSU. Now, that's an interesting name if you want to keep Fields, yet also draft a QB on day 2. I don't think Daniels would go first round, but day 2 is where he could go. I almost would view that as when the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts. Carson Wentz at the time was still viewed as their franchise quarterback, but Hurts was an interesting developmental quarterback in case Wentz didn't work out, and obviously that ended up playing out well for Philadelphia. So don't hate that idea. If you're kind of in between on Fields and don't want to trade him just yet, then drafting a quarterback on day 2 could be an avenue to go. Larry with the 5. If Fields tanks again, bench him and start Bagent to see what you have. I assume by tanks again, you just mean plays poorly. I think he's obviously trying to win and play well, but we'll see. I still think it's way too early for that. I think you got to give this at least probably till week 10 or so before you consider the idea of going to Bagent. But if it's really ugly and you're into the month of November, then yeah, I think that conversation sparks up. But until then, I think you're better off long term just to see and just make sure that Fields isn't the guy before making that decision. Zane Gray, I was wrong about the option, my bad, but let's be honest, Bears need every chance to get a good QB as possible. QBs need help, but I feel like the offensive side of the ball has talent. I'd rather have 2 shots at QB. Oh, talking about, so Zane sent in a comment before this segment talking about fifth-year option. So if the Bears want to exercise Justin Fields' fifth-year option, they have to make that decision this offseason. They can't wait until after 2024. So we'll know after this offseason if they pick up that 5th year or not. But yeah, I think, drafting a quarterback is very much on the table if poor play from Justin continues. From chat, hashtag Bears, what if Getsy was doing all this on purpose to make Chicago suck for Rodgers? They are best friends, just saying. What, he saw Rodgers snap his Achilles and then said, okay, let's tank the season and then go trade for Rodgers after this year? That's quite the reach, Chet. I got to be honest. Yeah, I don't think that at all. Luke Getsy has to perform. If he wants to be a head coach someday, which, by the way, he's nowhere near being at this point, but it just doesn't benefit him in his coaching career to do that. Stephen Hunt, is there any chance the Bears actually go into Arrowhead and win? What is your over-under on it? I'll give a percent chance, and you guys can answer as well. The Bears have a blank percent chance to beat the Chiefs. I'll give it a 10% chance. It's the NFL. Anybody can win. It's not impossible. The Chiefs have had some bizarre losses in recent years. Would it surprise me? Yeah, I would. Would I be shocked? I'd be pretty shocked. Is it impossible? No. I mean, you probably need a few weird things to happen. The Chiefs probably need to have a muffed punt that you scoop and score. You probably got to get a defensive at least 1 or 2 takeaways, and Justin Fields has to play really good. I mean, you need all that to happen to have a chance. So 10%, it's not very high. Let us know what you guys think. Sam Laktara, Fields doesn't pan out, and Bagent proves not to be a starting caliber quarterback. Bo Nix in the 3rd sounds good to me. Keeps both first-rounders. A, I don't know if Nix has fallen to the 3rd. B, if Fields isn't the guy, you're taking a quarterback in the 1st round. Am I missing something here? I just feel like you just got to, right? You got to get the best quarterback you possibly can if you're moving on from Fields. So Nix in the 2nd or 3rd if you want to keep Fields, but also bring in somebody to potentially develop and be the future starter. That's appealing, kind of like the Jalen Daniels conversation. But if I'm for sure punting on Fields, I'm taking a quarterback in the 1st round. Ogeezer Kieran, you think JF1 is psyched out by his left foot? Luke Getsy said on Thursday that Fields likes the footwork. He likes his left foot in front in the offense. So who knows? I wish someone would have asked Fields about it on Wednesday. Of course, no one did. But I don't know. It'd be pretty funny if on Sunday on game day his right foot was in front. I don't think it will be, though. Dedros, hire JT O'Sullivan immediately for the love of God. I don't know if you mean me or the Bears, but he does a great job. Go check out the QB School. He's been doing some awesome film breakdowns, not only of Justin Fields, but of other NFL quarterbacks. I'm a really big fan of his work. Logan, would you do this if it was an option? Trade Fields for Carr and draft a QB. Any have Carr coach him. I don't. Oh, and have Carr coach him. No, I don't want Derek Carr. Like, again, if I'm moving on from Fields, I'm drafting a quarterback. That's it. I know you're saying draft one too, but like, if I'm getting a vet, I don't want Carr. I think you can do better there, if I'm being completely honest. And if you want to do better in general with your meals, quick, delicious, healthy meals, Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, is ready for you. You can have meals delivered straight to your door with chef-prepared meals, and you can prepare them in just a couple of minutes. They're already prepared for you. You just either microwave them or even non-microwavable options. Just take a couple of minutes for you. If you're too busy running around during the day to think about lunch, well, keep up your energy up with lunch to go. Effortless, wholesome meals like grain bowls and salad toppers that are ready to eat when you're on the go. And guess what? Those meals, no microwave required. Maybe you're trying to count calories, looking for some calorie-conscious options during the football season. Try delicious dietitian-approved calorie-smart meals with or around less than 550 calories per serving. I personally am a big fan of the different chicken ones. I had the honey mustard chicken recently. That one was fantastic. The potatoes and asparagus there on the side were really, really delicious. I know producer Rolly is a big fan of the shredded bacon chicken, which I am as well. Tons of different meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. They even have some smoothie options. Go check them out. factormeals.com/BearsChat50. That code BearsChat50 gets you 50% off. That link and promo code in the description of this video. It's code BearsChat50 at factormeals.com/BearsChat50. From DC Viper, if the Bears lose this Sunday and possibly next, who gets traded and what value can we get out of them? Yeah, if you lose to the Chiefs, then you lose to the Broncos and you're 0-4, you're obviously basically at zero chance to make the playoffs. So then you become a sell team, right? Sell. Jalen Johnson is a guy. I mentioned that, with Trayvon Diggs having that torn ACL. If you lose to the Chiefs, I mean, does Dallas, a team trying to contend for a Super Bowl, could they call and offer a day 2 pick for Jalen Johnson? Do you make that move if you're Chicago? That's interesting. Would you trade Mooney or Claypool? I don't know if you're getting much for Claypool. I don't know how much you're getting for Mooney. I think if any team would give you anything for Deontay Foreman, like conditional 7th, whatever, that's definitely a move I would make. So I don't know. I mean, those are some names. I mean, Cody Whitehair, he's not nearly what he once was, but if a team has an injury and needs a veteran offensive lineman that can play center or guard, I would take a late-round pick for him. So, I think there's definitely some guys that could be on the trade block if a couple more losses creep in here. From Jason, hate to say it, but think it's time to move on from Eddie Jackson. That's another name, by the way. Can't stay healthy. Yeah, dealing with the foot injury, but if he does get healthy, he could be a guy that gets traded as well if a team wants to shore up their back end. I still think he's a good safety. He played really well last year before that Liz Frank injury. It's a shame that happened, but you need to get him healthy, A, to help you, but B, if you do want to trade him, to get some value there. Michael Lewis would love to see Luke Getsy replaced with a guy like Greg Roman in his offense. Thoughts? Yeah, that idea has been out there, hiring Greg Roman. Look, he doesn't design passing schemes well at all, but I think what Baltimore did was pretty smart, where he was their guy with Lamar Jackson, and Lamar got a little bit better as a passer, then reached a point where it's like, okay, Roman can't design passing. We have to move on from him and bring in a different OC that can design a passing attack. But Roman got the most out of that offense in Lamar's early years, and you wonder if a guy like him could unlock Justin Fields, and then when Fields is ready to do even more as a passer, then you bring in someone who can design a passing attack. It's an interesting idea. Subscribe to the channel if you want more Bears coverage. Rain or shine, we will be here for everything Chicago Bears latest. Multiple live shows per week, every Monday, Thursday, and game day. Plus, when breaking news happens, hectic days happen like Wednesday, we'll go live in those situations as well. It's youtube.com/Bears now. It's 100% free, trying to get to 73,000 subscribers. Ben Seaton, would you keep Poles and Cunningham and fire this coaching staff if the season doesn't get better? Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what the number is, and maybe looking at it numerically doesn't make sense, but, like, if you play like this most of the year, like someone's getting fired. I don't know who. Like I think Getsy would for sure be fired, but Flus would potentially get fired. You're probably changing quarterbacks. The question is, could it be bad enough where Poles could get fired 2 years in as a GM? I don't know, but I wouldn't rule anything out. Kevin Warren's a big wild card in this whole thing. There's no doubt about it. DC Viper, who are your top 5 players to watch in the 2024 draft? I mean, I'll leave the quarterbacks out of it because I think we know those guys. Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia, which I would still be open to drafting him, even though you've extended Komet. I mean, a Bowers-Komet tight end combination is pretty lethal. Marvin Harrison Jr., I love that receiver from Florida State, Keon Coleman. He's an absolute stud. Trying to think who else right now, not at quarterback. Obviously, you have Emeka Egbuka, the Ohio State guy. You got the Penn State tackle, Olu Fashanu, whatever his name is. He's really good. LSU, is Harold? I don't think Harold Perkins is draftable. I think he's got to come back one more year, so he's not eligible. Jared Verse, the edge out of Florida State, he's really good. So those are a few guys. I'm definitely going to ramp up my draft stuff because if the Bears fall to 0-3, it might be mock draft season here on Chicago Bears Now. Giancarlo, will the Bears forego hiring a defensive coordinator? Will Kevin Warren clean house? I don't know if the Bears will bring in an outside voice. I put out a video of Alan Williams' replacements, some internal guys that could get promoted to DC, some external guys that could bring in to help, either as a defensive coordinator or as just another resource to Matt Eberflus. In terms of Kevin Warren, will he clean house? That's the big question. I mean, if this continues to spiral, could Kevin Warren step in and just pull the plug on it and start fresh? That's the million-dollar question right now. Predict the score of this Week 3 matchup, Bears at Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium this Sunday. Who wins and what is the final score going to be? From Wyatt, do we need to hurt Fields? I mean, what the heck, dude? Why didn't Fields like the coaches? We need to draft Caleb Williams. If we tank again, I don't think Fields is the guy. Let me be clear, Wyatt. If you don't think Fields is the guy, that's fine. But I don't know if you mistyped or whatever, but do we need to hurt Fields? No, we don't need to hurt Fields. We don't want anyone to get hurt. So let's just get that out of our vocabulary and out of our brains immediately. If you want to say, do we need to bench him, that's a totally different question. Hurt him? No, we're not hurting the quarterback or anybody else, guys. Harley Bance, what has Rasheem Green done to keep his spot in the 53? Had a blocked field goal the other day. That was something. I don't know. I still do question, like, I don't think Travis Gibson or Terrell Lewis are world beaters, but they looked like your 2 best pass rushers in camp and in the preseason, and you just have no room for either of them. Like, I get it. You're playing lesser competition. It's vanilla. I get all that stuff. But, like, to not keep one of those guys still feels weird to me. I didn't get that decision. Nestless, is there any chance the Bears will be over 500? Over 500 record? I mean, you'd have to go 9-6 the rest of the way. It's not a murderer's row schedule, although you're at Arrowhead this week. If you lose that, you got to win 9 out of 14. That feels like an uphill task, if I'm being honest. Like, if you go from 0-3 to 9-8, I mean, that's Matt Eberflus Coach of the Year type stuff, if we're being completely honest. So, is there a chance? Sure. Is it a high chance? No. It's a very low chance. There's a better chance you beat the Chiefs this week than you finish above 500. If I had to take those odds. All right. Appreciate all the questions here at HGramNFL. If you have any more on Twitter, same handle on Instagram. You can reach out to me on those 2 platforms at HGramNFL. If you have any more Bears or NFL questions. All right. Predict the score for us here. Bears versus Chiefs.
Harrison, just some NBA news.
Ooh.
Shams Charania confirmed that the Mavericks, 76ers, and Bucks
Buddy
have
Hield.
all expressed interest in Buddy Hield.
That's 2 of our 3 teams. That's good news.
Yeah, we'll take it.
That'd be a kick in the you-know-what if the Bucks got him. What would they even trade for him? Like, what salaries do they have to match?
It's a question.
You're not
Let's do some
trading.
research.
You're not trading Drew Holiday. Is it like Pat Connaughton?
Let's do some research.
He's such a Mav.
They could do a combination of Grayson Allen and Pat Connaughton.
Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, and like a first or 2 seconds or
Those
something?
2 contracts get you to just under 18.5. So.
Are they expiring, both of them? Because Heald's
Grayson Allen's is, so that's a valuable thing.
Okay.
Pat Connaughton's got 2 more years left. He's got a 3-year deal. Jeez.
I feel like you'd have to throw in maybe a first in that deal. Might be protected first, but
Yeah, but that actually equals out pretty well. Connaughton
Okay.
and Allen.
all right. It's pretty clear they're trading him.
Feels that way.
Because, I mean, Sham said yesterday after extension negotiations stalled, they're working on a trade. So, like, it feels like both sides came together and was like,
It
hey,
feels
let's
like
just.
it's definitely going to happen.
Feels mutual, is
Question,
what I'm saying.
which one happens first, Buddy Hield trade or Dame trade?
Buddy Hield. Because I think Buddy and the Pacers have mutually agreed, whereas, sure, Portland knows they're going to trade him, but, like, that was a player requesting a trade, whereas both sides in this case were like, hey, you're expiring. We're not bringing you back. Let's just find a home for you type thing. 27-24 Bears from Benjamin. 32-26 Chiefs from Welp. 48-6 from Apologetic Truth Chiefs. That'd be brutal. Dave says 41-13. Jason in the chat says Celtics year, Rolly. What do you think about that?
Jason, you don't know Bulkhead.
All right, hit a couple super chats, and then we'll get to our preview segment. Corbin, what if we beat the Chiefs after all? I mean, look, it could be one of those magical turning point things, right? Like, these things do happen in sports. They don't seem to happen for the Bears, but weirder things in life have happened, right? This team has talent. I stand by that. Like, that's what's been so frustrating so far is, like, remember for most of last year, this team was competitive. They didn't win, but they were competitive. And that's why when you add it all this down, you're like, okay, some of those 50-50 games should turn in your favor. Well, you really haven't made either of these first 2 games 50-50 yet. That's the concerning part. Like Green Bay at home at Tampa, those are games in your wheelhouse that you should have a chance. Now, yes, technically, you got the ball back down 3 at about your own 8-yard line with 2:15 to go to beat Tampa. I get it. That's a chance. But you thoroughly got outplayed. Go look at the numbers. I mean, you got doubled in yardage almost. So, like, you were kind of lucky to have a chance in that one. But, yeah, I mean, the talent's there. They just got to play better. They have got to play better. Marty K, Dame time
Stop
in
it,
the
Marty.
Chicago.
Marty,
Dame's
it's
a
not
bull, Rolly.
going to happen.
Where's Seeps?
Get it together, Marty K. It
Seeps, are
simply
you out
is
there?
Not going
Get
to
in here,
happen.
Seeps.
This is just ridiculous. It's not going to happen. There's a better chance of me dating.
Dame's a bull. Rolly can't accept it. Dame's a bull. Host the Bulls now. Dame's a
Minnesota
bull.
Vikings fan Patrick Seaman.
It doesn't matter. He's a Bulls fan.
Minnesota Vikings fan Patrick Seaman.
Go sub to Bulls now. YouTube.com/@Bulls now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Seeps broke it down. Let's
Video
go.
probably stinks.
Let's go.
Do we simulcast on Bears and
Yeah, we going live? Super chat battle on the 2 channels? Hey, that's a good point. If Dame gets traded to the Bulls, we going live on Bears? What do you guys think?
I
And
refuse.
we'll
I-
triple cast. He'll
I
produce and we'll be
will-
live on Heat.
I will refuse.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. We need a couple chuckles, Rolly. It's tough times for Chicago sports. Think about Chicago sports right now, okay? The Bears, dumpster fire. White Sox, somehow bigger dumpster fire. Cubs, melting down in September. The Bulls, who were in first place a year and a half ago, tanked the rest of that season, were bad last year. The Blackhawks, after being awesome for a decade, have been horrible in the last 5 years. Chicago needs something, man. Rolly is in shambles. Oh, is he a Heedle? And when is he a Heedle?
He's a Heedle. My prediction was today. Unfortunately, that is not the case.
New tweet idea for you. Your daily Damian Lillard to the Heat confidence meter. You start with a percentage and it goes up or down or stays the same day after day. You tweet it every day.
Okay, I don't hate it. Don't hate it. I'll start tomorrow morning.
Tip jar on my desk.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
you can give me a Bears Now helmet sticker.
There you go.
So what's it starting at if you're starting today?
98.
98? Okay. I like that. Confident. All right, let's get to our last segment here. Bears-Chiefs preview. Can the Bears pull off a miracle? I've got keys to victory plus my official score prediction coming up. And Rolly, can we sneak into this preview somewhere, the Thursday injury report, just so it's in there? All right, sweet. We'll get that. All right, good stuff. Here we go. Preview time. Do the Chicago Bears have any chance in the world of beating the Kansas City Chiefs? That's what I want you guys to answer. Type Y for yes. Any given Sunday, of course they have a chance. Type N for hell no, they don't have a chance after the week that's taken place here at Halas Hall. Can the Bears pull off a miracle? Y for yes and for no. Is there any hope? I'm Harrison Graham. We're going to take a look at this Week 3 matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Kansas City Chiefs. At Arrowhead Stadium, the Chiefs are 13-point favorites. The total over-under between these two teams is at 48 points. So, quick math. Vegas basically thinks this is going to be about, a 32-16 game? No, 30-17, somewhere in there. That's kind of what they're looking at. So we'll see if the Bears can show up after a hectic week. Now, you look at the injury report. This was from Thursday, full disclosure. That's when we're filming this. Nate Davis did not practice due to a personal issue. Marcedes Lewis took a rest day. He should be fine. Eddie Jackson, we'll see what his status is, but has not practiced this week. Darnell Mooney limited with a knee injury. We'll see what his status is. Khalid Kareem limited with a hip, and then Josh Blackwell, a full participant due to, after battling that hamstring injury. He is trending toward playing in this one. All right, 5 keys to victory. My Week 3 preview here. Play free, Justin Fields. Those aren't my words. Those are yours. He vowed to play free this week and moving forward. Said he feels like he's been playing too robotic. Says he feels like he's been thinking too much. He's going to get back, having fun, play his game, and let it hopefully rip in this one. His words, not mine. When asked what that looks like, he said you'll see soon. So prove it. Prove it to us. Let's see what that looks like, because this isn't good enough, what we've seen through 2 games. Under 61% completion, just over 210 passing yards per game, which that's actually up. That's actually ticked up in a positive direction from last year. But 2 touchdowns to 3 picks passing, only 62 total rushing yards and 1 rush touchdown. I'll say this. He has 62 total rushing yards in 2 games. I think he tops that in this game alone. I think you're going to see him take off a lot more. So that's something I would account for if I was Justin Fields. Okay, get off the field on 3rd down. Obviously, I'm talking about the defense. It has been a horrific display for this Bears defense on 3rd down. They're getting teams into a lot of 3rd and mediums and 3rd and longs, and yet they've given up 17 of 31 conversions. That is horrific. That's just under 55%. That is horrible, guys. I mean, the 3rd and 14 backbreaker, which was a double whammy against the Bucs, Jalen Johnson punches the football out, and of course Baker Mayfield recovers it somehow. And then on 3rd and 14, you get torched for a 35-yard touchdown. You just got to get off the field there. I mean, it's as simple as that. Through 2 games, the Bears are giving up 55% conversions on 3rd down. They have 0 takeaways and only 1 sack. Defense has got to step up. The 3rd down defense is where it starts. You start getting more stops, hopefully more turnovers creep in, and you can build off of that. But it simply has to be better in those key areas. Bears, Chiefs, we're going to be live for this one on Sunday, 2:15 Central Time is when we'll go live for a full hour and 10-minute pregame show. We'll stay live for the entire game for our weekly watch party that we always do on game day. So bear down, subscribe, turn on your notifications. We'll see you guys on Sunday afternoon. Next up in our preview, more DJ Moore. Yeah, give him the ball more. This shouldn't be rocket science. Your best player needs the football. On 7 targets, he had 6 catches for 104 yards against the Bucs. What does that tell me? It tells me he should have doubled his targets. Should have given him 14, 15 targets. It's got to be a minimum of 10 a game, man. Like, you've got to give DJ Moore 10 or more targets a game. And to add fuel to the fire, NFL Films audio picked up, because I think Devin White was mic'd up in that game against the Buccaneers. He looked at DJ Moore and said, bro, they're not using you. They ain't using you properly. And he said, don't I know it? That ain't a good look. Is that a little shot at Luke Getsy, Justin Fields? Getsy, Dial it up for DJ. Justin, throw him the ball. 10-plus targets. That's the expectation moving forward. If you want to go bet on this game, you can do it. The only place to do it is BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/Bears. Use our promo code BEARDOWN. That's going to get you a 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100. They will give you $125 for free. Chatsports.com/Bears. Promo code BEARDOWN. Want to bet on this one? 13's a lot, man. 13's a lot. I got my official prediction coming up. I do like the over in this game. The Chiefs' offense hasn't been great early on this year. You got to figure they're going to play better, especially against a Bears defense that's struggling. And as bad as it's looked for the Bears offensively, they've scored 20 and 17 points. So it's not like they haven't scored at all. So I like the over. Point spread, it's a tricky one. Chatsports.com/Bears. Promo code is BEARDOWN. Couple more here. Use your damn running backs, please. Your quarterback's struggling in the pocket, number one. Number two, this offense is built off of running the outside zone with your running backs. Do it. I mean, you're running the ball pretty effectively. Khalil Herbert is only averaging 3.9, but he ran much better in week 2 than he did in week 1. Got to get him more work. And Roschon Johnson especially, I mean, he just needs to be a more vital part of this offense. I thought for sure when Deontay Foreman was inactive in week 2 and Herbert and Johnson were the two backs, obviously Travis Homer, but he's just a special teams guy, that, okay, Roschon's going to get a lot more carries. Yeah, he had 4 carries in week 2. He had 32 yards, but they only gave him 4 carries, which is ridiculous. Last week as a whole, your running backs only had 11 carries for 67 yards. It'd be one thing if the Bucs were blowing you out the whole game. You were within distance the entire game. The most the Bears ever got down was 10 points. There was never a point in that game other than when you got the ball back with 2:15 to go, where you couldn't run the football with your running backs. Do it more, Luke Getsy. That'll help your quarterback out too. So hopefully they're able to do that starting this week. Who gets more run on Sunday? Type KH for Khalil Herbert, RJ for Roschon Johnson. I hope both get quite a bit because I think you're going to need to run the football effectively to have a chance to beat the Chiefs. And then lastly, play with an effort attitude. Again, not my words, Justin Fields' words. This is what he said during his Wednesday press conference when he was asked about how he felt he played against Tampa and what he wants to do moving forward. He said, I felt like I wasn't necessarily playing my game. Felt like I was robotic, not playing like myself. My goal this week is to say F it and play football how I know how to play football. That includes thinking less and going out there and playing off of instincts. So what are we going to see? Are we going to see a team that comes out, plays hard, says screw it, no one on the planet thinks we're going to win, and we're going to play hard and shock the world? I saw Tyreek Stevenson said that's the plan, to shock the world on Sunday. I'm kind of tired of the talk. It's about going out there and proving it. Am I going to be disappointed if the Bears lose? No, I'm not. I expect them to lose. Am I going to be disappointed if the effort wanes, if things don't go well early? Yeah, you got to bring it for 60. Like, you got to go out there and do your job, compete, play hard, and hopefully execute. I mean, playing hard's the minimum in the NFL. There's a standard of playing well also. So hopefully that can happen. That's the big question with all the distractions this week at Halas Hall. Can they put that to the side and put together their best 60 minutes of the season and at least have a chance to win this game? That's what I'm hoping for, but that remains to be seen. Predict the score for us. Bears at Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium this Sunday. Again, we'll be live at 2:15 Central Time. Get those score predictions in right now. My score prediction, I got Chiefs 35-20. I don't think that score really is that bad. I mean, there can be a good 35-20 and a not so good 35-20. Maybe not a good 35-20, but a respectful 35-20. Like, if it's 35-13, you score a garbage touchdown in the last 2 minutes, that you kind of got blown out. But maybe you're down 28-20 and Patrick Mahomes ices it with a late touchdown. Like, I don't think that would be a bad result. So we'll see what it looks like. I think there will be some good, some bad, some ugly, but the effort's got to be there for all 60. That's the bottom line. Chiefs win 35-20. Bears fall to 0-3, and we have more questions than answers. All right, get those score predictions in. Ken, 52-17 Chiefs. Wasim, 42-10 Chiefs. Ron, 38-17 Bears. That would be something. Chiefs, 48-6 Bears.
Listen, I don't want to be disrespectful, Harry, but I think there's a better chance of me winning the Powerball than the Bears winning by double digits this Sunday.
You back? I should check and see if someone won. Let's take a gander.
What's up, Marsh?
Yeah, we're about to be out
We're
of
about
here.
to wrapping up.
Let's see.
Sub for Dubs. Let's go. FKC.
FKC. FKC. FKC. All right, where is... Oh, 725. I think I might be back.
Tonight or
Saturday.
Saturday?
Last night it was
Is it
6 something.
Powerball or Mega?
Powerball. Mega is 205, so that's pocket change.
You're losing money.
Oh, man. All right, guys, good stuff. We got to clear out because Marsh and the boys got to get ready for Thursday Night Football. F Marsh in the chat. I don't know if our boy Kerry Huss was in there, but we showed him some love with the super chat. I'll talk to him later. Appreciate him and everybody else for tuning in. We'll see you guys Sunday, 2:15 Central Time for pregame and then a full watch party of Bears and Chiefs.